Welcome back to Red Spark's crypto blog for all Cardano and crypto related news. Right, I'm not going to spend too long on the charts today. I'm going to mainly cover the Africa progress, but it is quite a volatile day, so I should say at least something about it. So, as I'm sure everybody is aware, earlier today, Bitcoin did drop in price from the 60K mark all the way down to 58K, and it has recovered a little bit. I happened to be looking at my phone at that time, and I saw the price down here and I was like, what is going on? So this is the ADA price, which plummeted below $2. It's now just about recovered above $2. I was rather shocked to see this, I will admit, because I always thought $2 was a very strong support point. So for it to come crashing down quite easily, although it has recovered, was a little bit disconcerting. That being said, I don't really care too much about these short-term movements. For me, the story of Cardano is all yet to happen. So as I've said before, end of November is when I would expect to start seeing a lot of price rises. That's when the Plutus application backend should have been in the rear view mirror. We should see DeFi apps coming out, and then more importantly, the mindset will change from thinking of crypto as, or thinking of Cardano as being operating in the DeFi market, which I'm sure it will do, not a problem, to looking ahead at all of the real world use cases and governmental deals that are happening in the Cardano ecosystem. And that is the focus of today's discussion, which I'm going to move on to next. As most of you probably know, Charles Hoskinson and IOHK have been doing a tour of the African continent, discussing potential blockchain-based solutions with a number of world leaders. The most recent tweet from Charles said, "Yes, we signed a great MOU today." And for those of you who aren't familiar with a Memorandum of Understanding, it's defined by Investopedia here as an agreement between two or more parties outlined in a formal document. It is not legally binding, but signals a willingness of the parties to move forward with a contract. The MOU can be seen as a starting point for negotiations, as it defines the scope and purpose of the talks. Such memoranda are most often seen in international treaty negotiations. Now, we don't know the nature of this MOU, but generally this is great news, as it shows there is real momentum behind IOHK's push to use blockchain technology based on Cardano to improve infrastructure in African countries. But why Africa? Well, Africa is one of the fastest growing continents in the world. So in this chart here, we can see the percentage growth in working age population over time. And we'll see how Africa has one of the largest working age populations right now. And as the title of this article says, a surplus of workers, more stability and technology are transforming Africa's economies. And there's another article that takes a more longer term view and highlights the enormous long-term trajectory of the continent. By 2050, assuming a conservative trajectory similar to what India achieved since 1990, Africa will produce more GDP than the United States and Eurozone combined do today. And its basic social, demographic, and political realities will also be transformed. A continent rich in natural resources, mineral, agricultural, and energy, Africa is also rich in the youth of its population, enjoying a demographic advantage over all other regions in the world. IOHK have also recently published this recent blog article titled "Africa is where the tough get going," in which they say, why is this IOHK team in Africa? Well, Africa is a really special and interesting continent in that it's going through a massive upgrade. There are no allegiances to the systems of the past because those systems haven't historically worked out so well here. So that means over the next 10, 20 years, every single thing, from how compliance works, to how stock markets are going to work, to how national ID works, to how academia is going to work, is up for change. And as an entrepreneur and an innovator, that's where you want to be. You don't go where the ball is right now. You go to where the ball is going to be. And that's a quote taken from a speech that Charles Hoskinson gave to the Cape Town, I think it was called the Cape Town Innovation Forum or something along those lines. It's a really good video that I highly recommend watching, and you can find it on the Input Output YouTube channel. And in fact, here is the video itself if you did want to look for it. Okay, so just to end off this video, I've drawn up a map here of the places that Charles is visiting on this tour of Africa. So he started off in South Africa a week or two back. We didn't really get too much information about any sort of deals coming out of this, so I suspect it was probably early level conversations. From watching that YouTube video that I was just looking at, I do know that digital ID is one of the big themes across all these discussions. So I wouldn't be surprised if at the very least the work that's been going on in Ethiopia around digital IDs in the education system is also being sort of pushed in South Africa. But hopefully we'll find out a bit more down the line as to how those conversations went. After this, Charles went to Tanzania, so I am actually missing a star for Tanzania. But we know that that's where World Mobile Token are based, which is an initiative built in partnership with IOHK and utilizing Cardano technology to bring low-cost internet to the people of Tanzania. And the idea is you can't bank the unbanked until you connect the unconnected. So that's work that's already going on. So I'm sure he caught up on that. And I'm guessing he probably also continued to spread the idea of a common educational sort of certification system built on Atala Prism. After that, he went to Zanzibar. So it's covered, or actually it's one of these islands over here. Zanzibar, we know that they discussed the blue economy, which is the economy that essentially built around being an island country. So anything, utilizing the resources of the ocean. We didn't get any more details beyond that. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. Zanzibar is also known as the as Spice Island, and he did tweet a photo about letting the spices flow. So I'm not sure if there's a cryptic clue or not, but potentially there's something in there around supply chain solutions and spices. After that, he went to Burundi, and that's where today's MOU tweet comes from. And again, we don't know what that might be about. And then he'll be going on to Kenya, and then Ethiopia, and then Egypt. And it'll be interesting to see what comes out of those visits. Kenya and Egypt are very big economies, famous for both coffee and tourism, respectively. But I'm sure there's many other opportunities there. And with Ethiopia, that's where IOHK are doing the project where they're implementing 5 million educational credentials attached to the Ethiopian National Identity Program using Atala Prism. And that is a project that was recently awarded as one of the most significant blockchain projects of this year by a Pennsylvania-based project management company, which I reported on, I think, 2 days ago. So as you can see, there's lots of interesting things happening in the Cardano space. What I like about Cardano and IOHK is that they're very much focused on actually changing the world through blockchain technology, going beyond NFTs and DeFis and those sort of things, which really just cater towards the niche of people already in crypto, and instead trying to find real world use cases for cryptocurrency technology and real value to people. That's it from me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and give me some feedback down below. It definitely helps me as I try and grow out this YouTube channel to know what works and what doesn't. Other than that, I hope you all have a good day.